The dim yellow glow of a single lamp washed over David Carter's kitchen like a pool of tired gold, its long shadows creeping across the walls as he thumbed through a mountain of bills. The scratch of paper, the tap of his fingers, every sound rang out in the hush of that late hour. Each figure on the page felt like a brick settling on his chest. Rent, utilities, therapy sessions, therapy sessions, therapy sessions. His pay didn't budge, but the bills swelled like a rising tide. David closed his eyes, massaging the temples where a headache throbbed. In the corner of the room, a small bed by the window held his 6-year-old son, Liam, silent, motionless, as if the world itself had lost all its noise. No laughter, no words, only an unbroken stillness that had become their shared companion. He used to be a firefighter, running headlong into flames, saving lives without a second thought. Now he felt helpless facing the tragedy of his own son's silence. How do you bring colour back to a world gone grey? A soft knock snapped David out of his reverie. The busy street below, alive with headlights and distant laughter, felt like another lifetime. He opened the door to find Mark Evans, a face from his old firehouse days. "David, it's been too long," Mark began, voice heavy with empathy. David stepped aside and Mark crossed the threshold. The rich aroma of fresh coffee soon filling the cramped space. "I heard about Liam," Mark said, gently, pulling a photograph from his jacket. The image slid across the table like a prophecy. A black and tan German shepherd with eyes that seemed to hold entire stories. "This is Max," Mark explained. "He's retired from canine duty. Search, rescue, tracking. But he needs something to do, someone to protect. I think maybe Liam could be that someone." David stared at Max's steady gaze in the photograph. He barely had energy for himself, let alone a dog. Yet Mark's words echoed in the silent apartment. These dogs don't stop being who they are. Could purpose be the bridge between his son and the world? Maybe, just maybe, Max was the missing piece. That afternoon, as the sun dipped low, David brought Max home. The dog didn't bark or whirl around. He paused at the doorway, taking in every sight, every scent, every echo of this strange new mission field. Liam sat in his wheelchair, staring into the corners of the living room, as if waiting for a ghost to arrive. David introduced Max in a soft voice, but Liam didn't react. No glance, no twitch. Max didn't rush him. Instead, he lowered himself to sit a respectful distance away, eyes locked on the boy. It was quiet as snowfall. David exhaled, uncertain. He rubbed his palms over his jeans. But something in Max's patient pose made him feel just a fraction less alone. The next morning, David laid out a soft mat in the centre of the room and gently laid Liam down. He held up a small blue elephant, Liam's favourite from toddler days, and placed it just beyond his son's outstretched arms. Whispering a command, David watched in awe as Max rose, padded over, and returned the toy, placing it gently at Liam's fingertips. The boy didn't reach for it, but his eyes, empty for so long, shifted ever so slightly, tracking the dog's movements. The second time, with a toy car, Liam's gaze followed more intently. His pupils narrowed as though a curtain was being drawn back. David's heart pounded. Was this the first crack in the wall? Rain whispered against the windows, and David sat on the couch, body heavy with exhaustion. The soft hum of the TV did nothing to ease his mind. Max lay at his feet, a warm weight against his legs. Suddenly, Max's head snapped up. His ears pricked, and his body tensed like a coiled spring. No bark, just an intense stare at Liam's bed. Then came the sharp, urgent howl that shattered the silence. David bolted upright, adrenaline surging. Max barked again, turned, sprinted to Liam's room. Panic clawed at David's chest as he followed, convinced that whatever danger Max sensed, it was grave. The bedroom door was ajar. Inside, Liam's breath had stilled to shallow, desperate gasps, his small chest fighting invisible chains. David dropped to his knees, trembling as he cupped his son's face, hot, fevered, drifting away. 911! My son can't breathe, please hurry! The ambulance arrived in minutes that felt like hours. Max stayed close, whining softly, eyes never leaving Liam. In the ER, doctors fought to bring Liam back from the brink. David sat in the stiff plastic chair, heart hammering until, at last, a calm doctor emerged. "We've stabilised him. You got in here just in time." Relief and guilt tangled in David's chest. If Max hadn't sounded the alarm, Liam might not have survived. For 2 days, they stayed in the hospital, the steady beep of monitors marking each small victory. Always by Liam's side was Max, lying on the floor, vigilant. When Liam's eyes finally fluttered open, the world looked different. David brought out a small stuffed monkey from Liam's bag and asked Max to deliver it. The dog obeyed, placing the toy by Liam's hand. The boy didn't speak or move, but his eyes followed Max's every motion, alive with curiosity. It was as if the spark of recognition had been rekindled. Back at home that night, David lay beside Liam's bed, fingers brushing Max's fur. The soft hush of their shared breath filled the room. David whispered, "Max, bring the elephant." Obediently, Max retrieved the toy. This time, Liam's lips quivered. A single scratchy sound, "Ma," escaped him. The world held its breath. David dared not blink, afraid this fragile moment would vanish. Max sat motionless, tail wagging in the silence, as if urging Liam to try again. When the sound came again, clearer this time, tears stung David's eyes. 6 years of quiet, broken by one small, miraculous word. Dawn's warm light filtered through the school's entrance as David wheeled Liam forward for his first day of elementary school. Max, now wearing a crisp service vest, walked loyally by their side. Liam turned, placing his hand gently on Max's coat. "Me and Max got this, Dad," he said, voice steady with newfound confidence. A chorus of curious children gathered, but Max remained calm, alert. As Liam rolled through the open doors, David felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had been lost in silence for too long, but now, together, they were moving forward into the possibilities of tomorrow. That afternoon, David and Liam returned home in a soft golden light that filtered through their living room window, painting the walls in gentle warmth. Max, ever vigilant, settled onto his favourite rug, head resting on his paws, yet his ears remained tuned to the smallest creaks of the apartment. Liam wheeled himself toward the small shelf where he kept his art supplies, coloured pencils, sketchbooks, and modelling clay. For the first time, his fingers itched to create rather than remain still. David watched as Liam reached out, hesitated, then slowly lifted a pencil between his thumb and forefinger. His hand trembled, but Max nudged his side with a gentle nudge, as if encouraging him forward. With a deep breath, Liam pressed the pencil to paper, leaving the faintest grey line. David leaned forward, heart pounding at the sound of graphite whispering across the page, an echo of possibility that filled the room like birdsong at dawn. That evening, as dusk draped itself over the city, David decided to mark the moment with a family ritual. He lit a single candle on the coffee table. Its flame danced and flickered, casting playful shadows on the walls. Liam sat nearby, eyes bright, tracing the flame's wavering path. Max curled up behind him, his breath a steady, soothing rhythm against the hush. David retrieved a blank journal from his desk and placed it before Liam. "Draw what you see," he urged softly. Liam's hand hovered, then sketched the candle, its flame rendered in soft, wavering curves. The sketch was simple, but to David it spoke volumes, light breaking through darkness, fragile yet persistent. As Liam set down his pencil, Max gave a quiet sigh, breathing out contentment, and David realised the candle's glow was not just a beacon, but their promise to keep lighting the path forward. Over the following weeks, small miracles accumulated like dewdrops on grass. Liam began to test new words. Da for dad, Max with a curling smile, even a shy more when David offered another slice of apple. The apartment, once still and silent, now welcomed soft murmurs and laughter that bounced off the walls. Max thrived in his new purpose, guiding Liam across uneven sidewalks, fetching dropped toys, and offering a furry shoulder to lean on during rocky moments. David, too, found healing in their shared routines. Morning coffee with Liam's whispered greetings, afternoon walks where Max led the way, evening art sessions filled with colour and chatter. Each day felt like a fresh page in their story, the blank journal filling quickly with drawings, scribbled words, and photographs capturing triumphant firsts. One Saturday morning, the trio ventured to the neighbourhood park. Sunlight filtered through oak leaves, dapple patterns dancing on the paved path. Children's laughter echoed from the playground, and the scent of fresh-cut grass lingered in the air. Max guided Liam beside a shallow fountain where Liam reached out to feel the cool spray, water beads trembling on his fingertips. He let out a soft giggle, the pure, bright music that David had longed to hear. Max sat watchful at his side, tail thumping the ground like a steady heartbeat. David watched his son's face light up in wonder, tears of joy pooling in his own eyes. In that moment, he understood. They had moved beyond survival. Together, they were learning to truly live, and with Max leading the way, every tomorrow held a new sunrise of hope.